What's up, guys? YouTube Live on the SOOC channel. Have Robbie Wheaton with us tonight, and we're going to be talking about some cool stuff. And of course, we will take your questions, and we'll try to answer them, maybe. But great to have Robbie with us.
Good to be here.
And we always have fun. I think he missed out last Thursday on the Facebook Live, which we do a Facebook Live every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And we've had a lot of fun doing that, and that's what led us. Now, we were going to do every 2 weeks. We were thinking about with YouTube Live and last Valentine's Day, so we figured we didn't want any guys to get in divorce court,
including us.
Yeah, really. So anyway, today what we're really going to talk about is just some of the things that we like at the range. We're not going to go through the whole range pack or all the things that we take. You know, I mean, like ammo and guns and, extra magazines, which those are important.
Yeah, but just some little items that are, maybe specific to you or specific to me that I like to have when I'm at the range.
Right. Things because, we do go to the range a lot. So, and maybe you can pick something up, out of it. There are a couple of specific things that I want to talk about, but really a lot of it's just basic range gear. And so, Robbie, why don't you start out with a couple of things? Just start out with something that you really like, and then I'll do something.
Yeah. So when I go to the range and I'm working on different training drills, one of the biggest things that I use is a shot timer, and this records your shots, your splits, your transitions, and everything, and then you can go back and review that, and it really helps you to improve your speed and accuracy with your shooting. I've been using one of those for over 20 years now, and it's an absolutely invaluable tool in my range bag.
Well, especially since you do a lot of competitive shooting and have done it over the past few years. I mean, a long time.
Yeah. Well, and even for people that don't shoot competitively, it's still a great training aid to show them what they're actually doing when they're at the range shooting. Their splits, their transitions, their draw time. It shows all of that right there on the clock. So it's a huge training aid for someone that's looking at it from a defensive standpoint, or someone that's looking at it as a tool to improve their competitive shooting abilities.
Right, how long it takes you to draw, get on target. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's great. I don't have one, and I don't know that I'll get one, but I don't want to be embarrassed. Okay, one thing though that I always have at the range, and this is something that a lot of people don't. I think this is probably one of the most critical things that you could have at the range besides your gun and ammunition. But even if you don't have it, whoever has it, we always carry a trauma kit. This is a small little tourniquet, and we have compression. This company is funny because Lucky. I don't really do a lot with Lucky Gunner. I have gone to some of the shoots and things, but I'm good friends with Anthony, who owns Lucky Gunner, and one Christmas he sent me one of these, and it fits right in my cargo pockets of my my pants. So this is something that we always keep, and if I don't, I'll keep a standard trauma kit. So trauma kits, guys, they are super important to have at the range. So
you never need one until you need one.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So my next little tool that I carry with me is I've got a little hammer here, a little multi-tool. I'm not even sure who makes it. I've had it for years. It's got your knives and your screwdrivers and then a little hammer on it. But you always need a hammer at the range for something. No matter what it is, whether you're working on a gun or you're mad at a gun or whatever. There's always a need for a little hammer at the range. So this one just fits in my bag perfectly. I can drive stuff with it. It's even got a little nail puller on the back, a bottle opener in case I get thirsty. Priorities, right? So, but that's just a cool little tool that I've had in the range bag for years, and it's just.
Well, speaking of tools, I mean that's one I've got too.
Oh, yeah.
Big
got to have the Allen wrenches and now a Torx set as well, because most of your scope rings and bases are all Torx now.
Yeah, I mean there have been so many times when I've been to the range where maybe the mount came a little bit loose or something, and not having the right tools just drive you crazy.
Yep.
Okay, we have a question, and so we're going to check it out.
A couple questions. Number one, a range bag that doesn't weigh 500 pounds after loading all your ammo in it. And number two, favorite paper targets / best paper targets. And finally, do you watch Paul Harrell?
Oh, I love Paul Harrell. Oh, awesome. Absolutely. Love his personality. Super dry, but just awesome guy. Yes. Okay.
Is
now,
there such a thing as a range bag that weighs less than 500 pounds after you've loaded
not
it?
not while we go to the range. There's nothing. I'll tell you what's. Well, I'm not going to even show it to you. Well, yeah, I am. This is funny. This is a huge range bag, and but we don't put ammo in here. This is actually a gun broker. Whoops. It's a fairly inexpensive bag. I did a review on it actually because Gun Broker. I work with Get Zone, and Get Zone is owned by Gun Broker and Media Lodge, and they said, "Hey, would you mind showing this bag off?" So they sent it to me, and I was thinking that's an inexpensive range bag. I love it. I carry it everywhere. I mean, do I not have it at the range every time?
Every single time.
Now, if you want something really sturdy that's nice, but it's good quality, is the Maxpedition Compact Range Bag. That is fantastic. But LA Police Gear, get one of their bailout bags. I think those things are like $19 or $29 or something crazy. And I've had one for 25 years and I still use it.
Well, and the Midway USA's got some really inexpensive range bags as well that are they're not crazy expensive, and you can pick them up for like 30-40 bucks, and they hold up. They're super durable. That's what I brought with me tonight that I've got a bunch of my stuff in.
Right. Yeah, Robbie's got his bag. But that is the thing is, guys, you know, the bigger the bag, the more you're going to fill it up. But it's according to, you know, how much gear you're taking, really, as far as the weight goes.
Buy two.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Also, what is your favorite paper target? Same
Oh,
person.
paper target. Okay, now, I love easy to see targets. And it's just easy to, the letter 2, or number 2, number 2, C, targets.com. These are great targets. There's well, here's some of the choices. Now, the guy, in fact, they send me these targets, and they just send them.
Yeah.
And I just use them. They don't pay me anything. I'm not sponsored by these guys. But I love these targets. They're very easy to see. And this bright orange is great. I mean, you've used them a lot too.
Even with like a 4X or 6X scope, you can see 223 bullet holes at 100 yards with those targets.
Yes, so. And these are the ones that I really like, but there's, like I say, there is a ton of different choices. So check out easy to see targets. And but I'll tell you this, I do like the ones that, you know, I get some of the ones with the dot, you know, where when you shoot it, what are those called?
Shooting C's.
Shooting C's. I like those. But, man, there's a bazillion type targets out there. So it can be difficult. But I really like the Shooting C's because, you know, you can see where you're hitting.
What's the best lightweight ear protection?
For me, ta-da!
Yeah, and
now you've got...
So I've got a set of custom molded ones that my audiologist did for me, and I absolutely love these things. I think after, well, like we've done, the little flanged ones, I've worn those for years. But after getting a set of custom molded ones, there's no comparison. They fit so well, you don't even know you have them in.
Yeah,
so.
But they're not cheap. They're very expensive. Now, Howard Light electronic earmuffs, and I've had these for years, and I usually wear them like when I go to events and things like that. But these are excellent, and they're very inexpensive.
Yep.
So I think that's a good choice.
And those are my over-the-plug muffs that I wear as well.
Right.
So
Yes.
the Leatherman OHT, question mark?
Anything Leatherman is good quality. I mean, they're the ones who actually started it. It's funny, I just did a review on my Sensible Prepper channel on the Squirt. I'm working right now on the Juice, and I've got the Style coming up. I've just been buying them. I've been buying them off eBay. I just get on there and I'm like, okay, let's try this. And so just been picking them up. So yes, Leatherman, I've got a number of different Leatherman tools. I mean, yeah, they're just top notch.
SOOC, have you ever had a negligent discharge?
Oh yeah, I've had them. Been shooting for 35 years, and no, I shot my truck hood. I mean, how? I'm guilty. But one of the things though that's always saved me from any kind of thing is I've always pointed the gun in a certain direction whenever I pull the trigger, in the right direction, whereas there's no harm. But yes, over the years I have had, and so, ashamed to say, but when you handle as many guns as we do, I know I was in Robbie's shop one time, and the guy that was working in the back shot a 10 millimeter, through the bench. But it just happens.
Not me.
No, it wasn't you.
Just want to be clear about
And it
that.
wasn't his wife either. So,
should I buy the CZP-01?
Oh yeah, by all means. Buy CZ. Anything you buy is, I just love CZ.
Yeah.
And I've got the PCR, which is like the P01, but it's got the CZ front to it, where it's, you know, the dust cover's a little bit back. But I've been eyeing one of the P01s, so can't really justify it. I just like them. But yes.
What is your opinion on the quad rails in 2019?
Well, here's the thing about quad rail, and you can back me up on this, Robbie. You know, the quad rails were really one of the first things that came out. The great thing about a quad rail is it is bomb proof. It's not going anywhere. If you're attaching any kind of item on there, it's not coming off. You know, M-Lock, great. I mean, they've been proven to be, you know, really excellent. The key mod, which I honestly like.
Yep.
But if as far as it has to stay on there, the quad rail is number one.
Yeah, it is super strong and super durable. It's also heavier than a lot of the other handguards that are out there.
Oh yeah,
and it doesn't have the modularity that you have with a lot of your other handguards with the M-locks and the key mods, where you can put rails where you need them or take rails off where you don't need them. So to me, I think the quad rail is absolutely bomb proof, like Don said. But I think in today's market with the products that are out there, that the key mod handguard is outdated compared to the modular stuff that we have available.
Well, but Larry Buffoni at BCM just came out with a new handguard that was quad, and the reason is not because it's heavy.
Yep.
It's heavy, and it's not for everybody. It's not for your guy that's going to the range for the weekend. I would never recommend you getting one for that. But if it's a go-to combat type situation, there's nothing that works any better.
Yeah, it is
so
bomb-proof.
that is the big thing with that system. Yes, the others are more modular. Yes, they're much lighter. So, but the only reason I would get a quad rail is if, you know, whatever, if all heck broke loose. But hopefully that's not going to happen.
And you can saw a tree down with it in a pinch.
Yeah.
Don, in the Honcho 410 shotgun, did you try slugs? Thinking about adding it to my collection.
Yes, yeah, we shot all kind of stuff through that thing. That is it's so lightweight and so easy to shoot. Yeah, we did. And I think it's funny because I got one of the Mossberg 410s right now. We're one of the Shockwaves. But those are just the coolest things, and I love that 410. But yeah, we shot that. We shot buckshot. We shot all kind of stuff in it. And it did well.
What was Robbie's first product that he made?
Our Pro 3-gun muzzle brake.
Yeah.
Yeah, our Pro 3-gun muzzle brake was our first product that we released.
We tested that, didn't we? Weren't we doing some testing on
we
that
did.
when he and I first went to shoot? 9
or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you had the 22 reverse muzzle brake.
Yep.
To put on the, it was for the slide fire.
The infamous.
Yes.
Infamous
that
slide fire.
Illegal slide fire.
Can we get banned from YouTube for saying that word?
Yeah,
slide
why
fire?
not? I don't know. Don't say it. Don't say anything about that. But that was a cool. It actually reversed the. It was funny because it didn't shoot up at all. It was like it came just straight back, and you sold a ton of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody tried the ATI 410 AR?
No.
No, but ATI, it was funny. I met those guys down in St. Augustine with the Big Daddy gun thing that was down there. Those are the nicest people, and they're here in South Carolina. So I've got so many. We've gotten so many imported shotguns right now. I just haven't been able to get around to doing any. But I would like to try that. I really love 410 like that. I think it's cool. I've got one of the Henry lever action 410s right now. Oh man, that thing is awesome. So yeah.
Such, have you ever practiced a get home scenario, like parking your vehicle and going home using the things in your get home bag?
We haven't really, I haven't done that, but one thing that we did do on the Sensible Prepper channel, we had our prepper group, we rendezvoused at a certain location, and I kind of gave everybody a warning ahead of time that I would call them, and we had to do it when it was a day that everybody was off, but I called them, and then we timed how everybody got there. And then we went through all of our gear and our stuff. We had about 30 people there. No, it was more than that because we had kids with us too. But it was a large group. It's on my Sensible Prepper channel. Now that's not exactly what you're saying about doing it and going. In fact, we have talked about just getting on foot and being dropped off and then making our way back and hopefully not getting arrested while we're walking. But you know, that's something that definitely, in fact, even with this prepper group, we had talked about doing that a little bit later on, is actually camping out one night with the things that we had. And everybody's so busy, it was just difficult to coordinate. But I think that's a great thing, and it's something that we have had on the plate, you know, just haven't taken a bite.
So I did that once maybe about 3 weeks ago. Uber was great, like 20 minutes, and I was at the house.
Robbie's crazy. Yes.
Is there a way to mount a flashlight on an SKS?
You put a Tapco stock on it, maybe.
Yeah, because the Tapco stocks, they've got Picatinny rails on the sides that you can mount a little Picatinny rail too. Yeah,
maybe I've got
3
one.
and 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So, you'd know. So yeah, I guess if you get a Tapco stock for it, but as far, I mean, other than just screwing in with wood screws a Picatinny rail, which I know we used to do that with the ARs, with the clamshells. Before really the free float handguards became available, we would take and screw in just put a screw through and then tighten it down for a Picatinny rail.
Yeah, little DIY project. You could inlet the inside of the stock out just a little bit and put a plate in there and then bolt a Picatinny directly to that plate.
Yeah.
So
the only problem is if you have a wood stock and that light gets really smacked, it could crack the stock.
It could. Yep.
Best budget safety glasses.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some really inexpensive ones. It's funny, but people used to always ask me all the time, you know, what kind of glasses are you using? What glasses? And I was buying sunglasses at the beach. I mean, that's sad to say, but I mean, I've had a lot of pair of really good ballistic glasses, but I seem to end up breaking them. And it's funny because this is not budget at all, but this company, Stinger, in fact, they do the handguards that are very reasonable, and I've done a review on them. They got in touch with me, have these sunglasses. These are not cheap, but actually they were running them over with a car. And so if you say cheap, I mean, in fact, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be testing these by running them over. But you can see I've got these things completely bent, and then they just pop right back out. Don't steal my thunder. So, but you know, I don't really know of any that are. A lot of times you can actually go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get just some basic safety.
Like these little guys right here, I buy these by the case. I think they're about $2.50 or $3 a pair. I get them from Travers Tool. So you can order these by the case from Travers or off Amazon, either one, I'm sure. They're about $2.50 to $3 a pair, and they're ANSI rated. So they're impact resistant and everything. These are great little glasses, and if you scratch them, just throw them away and get you a new pair.
Do you have a rocket launcher?
Actually, I do have one of those under the mount AR, but it's really for like smoke grenades, you know, and stuff like that.
37 millimeter flare launcher.
Yes, yeah, it's a flare launcher. It's not one of the rocket launchers or the grenade launchers. Grenade launcher.
Yeah, because those are an NFA item.
Yeah. But in fact, I spent like $200 on shells. We just hadn't taken it out of the range yet. We're going to do that. But no, I don't have a rocket launcher.
What's the best / cheap economy AR-15?
Palmetto State Armory.
Freedom Series.
Freedom Series. I just did a review on it. Checked the video. Went through all the specs. I mean, it's a 158 Carpenter steel bolt. It's been HPT and MPI tested, not by batch, but each one. Shot peened bolts, 70-75 T6 aluminum, chrome moly barrel. But it's in the basic M4 carbine style, and it's $369 at Palmetto State. The gun is excellent. It's just excellent.
It's a no frills entry level AR-15 that it's got all the good bones to it that you can upgrade as you go, as your budget allows.
Right.
You know, it's just a tremendous value for AR-15.
Now we had to buy the upper and lower separate, which, you know, but they have a ton of different ones on there. But here's the thing: I've always thought Palmetto State was like Chinese made or something because they were so cheap. They make everything in South Carolina. Everything is up to spec. Check out that video though. And you know, they're just excellent. So I was honestly shocked. I told them, because we just started working recently, and I told them, I said, I want the cheapest AR you make. And so they sent it to me, and I was impressed.
Yeah.
We're both impressed.
Very impressed.
Best steel / aluminum AR mag.
Surefeed mags. Surefeed mags are excellent. They are OK Industry mags, and that's who makes them. And when it comes to the U.S. military, the OK Industries are some of the best.
They're pretty much the standard.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, people love them. And so, in fact, when they had the first assault weapons ban back in, what, 95 war, whatever
94.
it was,
Yep.
we went and we'd go to gun shows and look for OK Industry mags. We would look for those on purpose. And we paid a lot of money for them. But, yeah, Surefeed Industries. In fact, I have a video on them, and now they've upgraded to where there's actual texturing. Pebble texturing is still aluminum, but it's on the mags. But excellent mags. Check them out.
Yep. And I've had good results with the C Products magazines as well.
Oh yeah, C Products are good. C
Yep.
Products, those guys are good. I've met those. Those are good guys, and you can get the pink mags because I think they're making some now.
Best home defense gun and SHTF gun, and why?
Well, for me, because I'm an AR guy, you know, the AR-15. As far as home defense, the shotgun is one of the best. And Mike from Mr. Guns and Gear just did a tremendous video on the best home defense gun. He does a chart. It's really cool how he did it. In fact, I posted it on my Facebook page, and then I texted him. I said, dude, that was a great video.
Yeah.
Mike's a great guy, but that is a good one. But as far as, this is the thing for me, as far as SHTF, and I know you're going to agree with this, is the military, that's what they have. They have the AR, they have the M16. So it's got all the parts, all the ammunitions, all the same. So parts and accessories, ammunition, you
Yep.
know, is just more common. And here in the United States, especially, 5.56 is one of the most, you know, common calibers out there
Absolutely.
because, you know, so many people are shooting the AR. The AK-47, wonderful, awesome, and you can buy cheap ammunition. So that's also a great option.
But SHTF, it's probably going to be a lot harder to find ammo for the AK than it is for the AR.
Right, but it's so cheap, right? You
It
can
is.
buy that
You can
stuff up.
stockpile for sure.
So, you know, that's kind of, but what I look at is military calibers. What are the standard military calibers? Like 9mm. That's the reason why I go, I mean, I like 9mm.
9mm, 5.56, 308, or 7.62.
Right. I mean, that's just kind of, to me, that's always been my base.
Mm-hmm.
Do either one of y'all know of anyone making 40 to 9mm conversion barrels for the M&P 2.0 compact?
Mm-mm.
No, but that would be cool. And I know, you know, of course, Robbie does the 9mm conversions for the Glock, and we have shot the fire out of those things. And they're match grade barrels. They actually improve accuracy. You can shoot reloads. I mean, there's just over and over and over. They're just, and I have used them in a lot of different guns.
And we've got a lot of new products that we're coming out with this year. So
Yeah.
Not to kind of spill the beans, but, you know, keep an eye out for the M&P 2.0 barrels.
Well, I had one of my guys on Patreon, Jared. If he's watching, Jared, what's going on? He actually stopped by and picked up a flat face trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of my patron members, and so, and we're Facebook friends and all that. So, but he just said, "Man, I was just at Robbie's." I said, "Dang, I wish I'd have known. I would have come up there." So, you know, but yeah, this flat face trigger is fantastic. But if you're looking for Glock accessories, but not Smith & Wesson M&P, unfortunately, because
Not
I
yet.
love those 2.0s.
Yep.
I love them. I mean, they're just excellent.
Such, how do you stay so nice?
I just try to look on the good side of things. You know, some people say, "Well, Suits, you don't do any negative reviews," and they get, you know, a lot of criticism. And you like everything. No, I don't like everything. But if you see it on my channel, I like it. There's a lot of things I don't like. So, you know, and then some people go, "Well, you need to be telling people." Well, you don't tell me what to do. How about that?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, why not? I mean, be nice, be kind to people. That's the important thing. I mean, that's what life's about. And so, you know. And
My wife got me a T-shirt for Christmas that said "Whiskey helps."
well, it's like
Just saying.
It's like a good friend of mine. He's a nice, really. Well, of course, Robbie's nice too. But this friend of mine was talking to him, and we were just talking about how, you know, that we're nice. We know we're nice, but don't confuse that for weakness. So, but I'm not saying thank you for saying that though. I really appreciate it.
Do you still have any Caniks in your collection?
Yes, I have them all. I've not gotten rid of one of them. I get them. I'm like, I love it. Caniks are great. Caniks are great. They're great guns.
And it's picking up a new one this week.
Yeah, probably so. But they are. I'm telling you. I mean, I'll just and you know what? It's funny because. But you can get on there and see the reviews. There's so many. There's just positive, positive, positive because they're just great guns. They're all perfect? No, they've had some problems here and there, but not anything like anybody.
Yeah.
But for the price, man, you can't beat it. You just can't beat it. So yes, I love Kanak.
And with the popularity of that gun, there's going to be a lot more aftermarket support for it as well.
Well, there's already quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the one thing that Kanak's missing is a subcompact, and until they get some kind of manufacturing in the U.S., it's going to stay that way because they can't import small guns.
That's right.
But the Kanak TP9 Elite, it's the smallest they make, and that's a great gun. I mean, they're all good.
What's your favorite gun oil or grease for the range bag?
Break free, break free CLP, and this is the deal, guys. I'm lazy about it. I love the smell of it, and it works, and I just use it. Yes, I've gotten a lot of people wanting to send me all kind of gun oils, and I'm too busy to focus. Did this do well? Did this do? You know, I've got too many irons in the fire like that, but that's not necessarily the best. And I think Spartan Systems, that's a really good oil. I like them. I like that oil. What do you like, Robbie?
I use Gunfighter gun oil. I've had great results with it in my long guns, my handguns, my shotguns. It's completely synthetic. It doesn't break down. It doesn't gum up in your gun. It's odorless, so you can't smell it. So it's great for hunters. And like I said, I've had great results with it. I've been using it for maybe 3 years now, and just a tremendous oil.
Now, I will tell you one thing, frog lube, and there are some people that don't like it. There's some people that say it gums up when it gets cold, blah, blah, blah. Anytime, especially when I did all my mouse gun reviews, if I started having problems with the gun, if I put frog lube on it, it would stop having problems unless there was something actually physically wrong with the gun. It was funny. I could try all kind of different things. I put frog lube on it, boom, it would work. So frog lube to me has its place. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I squeezed a frog on my gun one time. Wouldn't run it off.
I'm just glad I wasn't there. Oh Lord. Yeah.
Well, what about the Century Arms C308?
I love the C308, and I don't think I've got. I think it's in my safe. I've got two. I've got one of the brown Patriot Brown. I've got the black, and I have the original Set Me that has the wood stock. I bought it at a gun show like years and years ago, and that thing has been awesome. I mean, and I've had it for years. Well, you can see my review, and I had it before then, so that's been about 10 years ago when I started shooting it. I like the guns. I mean, they're just solid. They're fun. I mean, they shoot well. They're accurate. In fact, I did something on the Sensible Prepper channel about, you know, is the C308 the ultimate prepper rifle? And the magazines are super cheap. I mean, you know, you can get aluminum HK 91 mags for like $2.95 or at least under $5. So
and plenty of parts kits out there for spare parts.
Yeah.
To have in case something happens, you break apart and it's an extractor or ejector. So there's plenty of spare parts and parts kits out there for those guns as well.
Right. So they've been good for me. I like them.
Should I send my Phantom to Cajun Gun Works or keep it stock?
Send it to Cajun Gun Works. Those guys do awesome work. They're great CZ Smiths.
Yeah, Cajun Gun Works. Anytime you're in the CZ realm, you will hear that name come up over and over. But you know, as far as like for me, you know, Robbie will do some stuff, and he's done some things to my guns over the years. But honestly, I keep my guns pretty stock, and that's just my taste. But
I'm a trigger snob. So
yeah, well, if you want a really superb trigger, do that. If you have a Glock, get a Wheaton arms trigger.
There you go.
How many guns on average do you bring to the range? I find myself bringing too many guns.
Oh yeah. I always bring way too many. What I like to do is take guns to the range. We'll take a number of guns and we'll shoot and we'll do some testing because it's always something happens. You know, whether we forget our magazines or, you know,
bring the wrong ammo
or have something go on or the scope mount's loose or whatever. So we end up, because really my range is about 40 minutes. Our range is 40 minutes from us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually more than that for where you live. But so when we go, it's an event.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, the problem is though, is taking too many guns is you end up having to clean all those guns. Now that's not a problem for me because I'm the world's worst at that. I mean, I have been doing better, but that's been a big thing. But yeah, I mean, but one thing I realized though is sometimes if I took too many guns, I didn't enjoy. It's like if I took 2 or 3 guns, I really enjoyed those guns. If I took like 10, I got home and I don't even remember what I did.
Yep.
So that's one thing.
Any particular wheeler wrench set for mounting all kinds of accessories like scopes, lights, and grips?
Wheeler?
Yeah, I use the fat wrench for all of my scope mounting and rings and bases, action screws and everything. It comes with a Torx bits and some Allen bits, and then you can also get the Wheeler gunsmithing set that has all of their screwdriver tips and stuff that fits like 99% of the guns that are out there. So those two would be the two that I would look at getting.
And he is the gunsmith. And so, I mean, he does custom 1911s. Well, he used to, because now his business, his Glock parts business has gone really crazy.
Yep.
So
Which is a good thing. It's just allowed us to transition into another phase of the business.
Right, but you still have the knowledge.
Yep.
So, yeah, listen to this guy.
Do you still keep in touch with Josh at Razor Edge Knives?
No, I need to talk to him. His wife gave me a little thing that she makes, this ointment, and she uses plants around their property. And my wife tried it, and she loves it. I mean, it just is incredible. So she's been driving me crazy to get in touch with him.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Josh in a couple of years.
Oh, Josh is the greatest guy, though. No, I've got some knives I wouldn't mind having. In fact, I think I tried to get in touch with him one time, and he had changed his email address or something. So no, I haven't. I would love to because he's really a super guy. So.
Hey, Such or Robbie, in your own experiences, how does a G23 run with a compensator?
It can be hit or miss with one. It really depends on the loads that you're using, the weight of the compensator, how many ports are in the compensator, the powder that you're using in your cases, whether it's a slow powder or fast powder. So there's a lot of variables with that really play into the reliability of that round. If you're just using like a 115 grain ball or maybe 124 grain ball with a single chamber or 2 chamber comp, a little short compact comp, it'll probably run fine. But one thing to consider with the 23 is you really can't go below a 17 or 18 pound recoil spring, or you'll start having reliability issues with the slide closing all the way.
I'm glad you took that question.
Yeah.
Like I said. Okay.
Which Glock is the best for carry and gun range?
19.
Yeah, 19. Now, I carry 26, but of course Robbie's had it for a little while because he's developing a barrel, and so which is fine. I've got the Gen 3. The Gen 5 is what he has right now, but the Glock 26 has been my carry, and it's funny because we were just talking about it. The way it shoots at the range, is it?
I tell you, I took the 26 and my new 48 to the range a couple of weeks ago, and was shooting the 26 and the 48 side by side with one another, and the recoil impulse on the 26 was a lot softer than the new 48, and it really surprised me. With the lighter slide and everything on the 48, I thought that it would be a very soft shooting gun, but it was a little more snappy than the 26.
Those dual recoil springs in the 26, they make a big difference.
Yep.
But as far as for me, and I've always said this, if I had one gun, if I just one gun that I had to either conceal carry, shoot, do whatever, it would be the Glock 19.
Yep.
Because it's small enough to carry concealed. Of course, for Robbie, it's easy to carry, but for me,
ankle.
Robbie, he's 6'4", but that's the Glock 19 to me fits a lot of roles.
Yep. And
for years, that's what I did carry. And I still do sometimes.
What is y'all's daily carry pistol?
Glock 26 is my primary. There are others.
Yeah.
And
I change guns like underwear. It's usually a 19. Today I'm carrying a 43. Yesterday I carried my 48. So, this is my my 43 that I'm carrying today. So, got one of our barrels, one of our triggers, set of sights, a little slide work, some stippling and stuff. But that was my carry gun, my grocery store gun tonight. So,
Now, I just finished doing the review of the CZ P10S, and I have been carrying that for a good while. I mean, ever since, even before the review, I was carrying it. And man, what a sweet gun. But you know, one thing, it was funny today. One of the things about Glock for me is that it's not that Glock's the best pistol out there. It's not that it's the best shooting gun out there. But for like Robbie and I both, we have been shooting Glocks for so long, and we have a lot of time invested in it. And so, well, I can pick up another pistol and go, ooh, I really like that. But then what I end up doing is just grabbing the Glock. It is not a matter of what's better or what's not.
Yep.
It's just, I'm not a Glock snob because I realize that other guns, I mean, the VP9, the HK VP9, oh man, I love that gun.
Well, it's like I get a bunch of 1911s and 2011s and love shooting those.
Yeah, but you don't carry, well, you mean you could, but you don't.
No.
Well, I don't. Well, the round capacity is just the big thing for me. It's like, but there's a lot of guys that do. And guys, here's the thing: it's the golden age of firearms. Man, there are so many choices. You know, just settle in.
There's a flavor for everyone out there.
Man, yeah, easy.
Taurus 856.
Taurus 856.
Is that a little revolver?
I don't know. I haven't.
357 revolver.
I don't know if you can clarify that, if she can spot it before, but no, I don't. It's funny. There are certain Tauruses that I've dealt with, like the 724 and the G2. The G2 is excellent. Then it was funny. I had one of the Spectrums, which I thought was funny. I actually liked that. I mean, I don't carry it or anything, but I actually liked it, 380. But I don't really keep up with a lot of the different models from Taurus, which I should. But again, it's the golden age of firearms. There's so many different choices. But here's the thing about Taurus. Taurus has been making now a lot of their guns in the U.S. Seems like since that time, their quality controls maybe picked up. Have you found that to be?
We don't see nearly as many Tauruses coming through the shop to be repaired as what we used to.
Yeah. But Taurus has always been a good gun. In fact, and I said this a while back, it's like 80%, but I would say 90% of Taurus guns function very well. I mean, they do very well. Excuse me. It's that 10% that has caused them to have a reputation. But the thing was, they'd always repair them. You just send them back and they'd repair them.
Yep.
I know they've changed their repair policies, though. It used to be lifetime, and I think they've gone to like a year. Something crazy like that. Or maybe even 5 years. But not sure why they did that.
Best 10mm out there for pistol hunting.
I would say the Glock 40 with a 6-inch barrel.
10 millimeter?
Yep.
Oh, the Glock 40. Oh, yeah.
Yep, not the 45.
Right, definitely. Well, the thing for me with the Glock, like I have the Glock Model 20, and it's just big for me. Now, it's not as big for him, but you still think it's thick, don't you?
It is thick, but the thing that I found with it is that thicker frame and that polymer frame helps to spread the recoil load out in your hand, and then the polymer flexes some as well when you're shooting the hot 10mm loads, and that flex in the frame and the wide frame does help absorb a lot of the recoil. And makes the gun very pleasurable to shoot even with heavy 10mm loads. Whereas if you're shooting a 1911, and I love 1911s in 10mm, but every couple of rounds you're having to readjust your grip just because of the amount of muzzle flip those guns have, where you just don't get that amount of muzzle flip with the 10mm in the Glock.
Well, I have the Rock Island Armory 10mm, but I really like it. In fact, I like it because I was so used to shooting 1911s for so long, and I like the way it shoots for me. But I'll tell you guys, I just did a review on the Springfield Armory XDM 10mm, their new 10mm, and it's one of the best grips of a 10mm I've messed with.
Yeah, it's a little smaller than the Glock.
It's more molded.
Yep.
It's excellent. It really is. And so.
Can Robbie mill a Glock slide for RMR and window cuts around the barrel?
No, we're not doing any gunsmithing or custom gun work at this time.
Well, you could, but
we could, yes, but
don't.
We're just right now with the growth of our business, we're just focusing on our parts and accessories that we're manufacturing.
Well, when we used to do those Carolina carry packages, man, they would have them lined up on the table. They were like boom, 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 boom. Does great work, but yeah, unfortunately, it just is. And then too, he lost one of his main gunsmiths at the time, and that really kind of helped them to make the decision. Unfortunately, because I'm sad, because if I need something done, you know, that requires a mill, I'm out of luck.
SOOC, how many firearms do you own?
I have about 3. Yeah, 3. This is an illusion.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is Securite Secure-It is great. They do a lot of gun storage solutions, but this is their wall, and Secure-It is awesome. I just need to say that because they sent this to me. It makes a really beautiful backdrop. Those guys are awesome, but I'm not going to tell you. It's funny because, well, I mean, I get
None
that
of your
question.
business.
No, it's not. I don't care if you really know. I'm just not going to say it on YouTube. But I'll tell you this. I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah. I couldn't answer that question either.
No, Robbie's same problem. Now the thing is, though, is I've had this question for years about what's your what is your collection? We want to see the SOOC collection. We want to see, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that because especially in today's climate, no way. There'd have to be a big lake for me to drop all those guns down there.
How is the Beretta PX4 Storm? My girlfriend was looking into it for a purse gun, but I'd never heard of it.
I think it may be a little big for a purse gun. I have a buddy of mine that got one for concealed carry, and it was just a little bit thick for him.
Yeah.
But I will say this: it's got the rotating barrel, and it is awesome to shoot.
Very soft shooting.
In fact, I'm looking for one now. I had a buddy of mine that let me borrow his, and I just was like, I'd like to try it because I didn't have it on my channel. This has been years ago, and oh man, I was like, wow.
I still think out of all of the 9mm out there today, it is the softest shooting 9mm out there.
And I think that the Grand Power also has the rotating barrel.
Yep.
The Grand
It's very
Power,
similar recoiling
those
bolts.
are great shooting guns, Grand Power. But I think it's a great pistol, and I think it would be good. I just think it's a little bit thick maybe for that, but she may be able to find a suitable way to carry it.
Yeah. They make pocket boots big enough for it. I've seen them. My wife has them.
Yeah, mine too.
What are your thoughts on joining local militias?
Whoa. This is what I think. I think that you have a prepper group. So I think you do, and you say, "This is my prepper group." The thing is with militias is it's such a bad word for a lot of people. Obviously that's the way we kind of set things up. But here's the thing. It's just a toxic kind of subject, unfortunately, and it's just one of those things where I'm not involved in any kind of militia group, but we do have a prepper group, which we have we plan and prepare together food and supplies and things like that. We've been doing that for years and years, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not. It's not that I'm not sympathetic, because I am, but I'm just saying I don't know.
20-inch ARs or 16-inch? Which do you prefer personally? I'm leaning towards the 20-inch myself.
Well, the U.S. Marine Corps likes the 20-inch. Or maybe not like it, but you've been carrying them.
Yeah. So I've had barrel lengths anywhere from 11.5, 10.5 inches all the way to 24, 26 inches on the AR. And with that cartridge, really 16 inches, 17 inches is kind of the optimum barrel length for it. You don't really gain a whole lot going longer other than added weight. So if you're looking at doing bench rest or something like that, then the longer barrel may help out some. But for all around shooting, the 16 or 17 inch barrel is really the ideal barrel length for that cartridge.
Yeah, and the 18 inches seems to be kind of a designated marksman kind of thought process.
Yep.
But what I would do is exactly, I'd get a 16 inch and then get a mid-length gas system on it. Be real soft shooting and yet.
Or a 17 inch with a rifle length gas system.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
right. And that would give you a very flat shooting.
Yep, very flat, very soft.
Robbie just hosted the Unknown Sniper Challenge down at the Clinton House, and he does know a lot about long range shooting. So
A little bit.
Yeah,
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So.
So anyway, but that's that.
Is 10mm still relevant or making a comeback in pistols?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, people love 10mm. It's a great round. Especially like for me, this is what I mean when I'm going hiking or camping. I've got my Glock 20.
Yeah, my mom had a bear in her backyard today.
See, that's the reason I carry Glock 20.
Yep.
Yeah, she's
Traveler's Rest.
Yeah.
So she had a bear in her backyard today.
We had a bobcat here a couple of years ago down at our creek on our property, and I went down there and found but it was funny, our dogs freaked out, and I was like, they never did do that. And I went out there and I told them shut up, and then I heard this, you know, and I was like, whoa, my hair on my back of my neck stood up. Yeah, and the wild boar and things like that, 10 millimeter is going to be around. Plus, it's a great hunting round, and it's just great to have on your side.
Yep.
For, you know, and if they come out, which I think they will, if Glock comes out with a Gen 5 G29, the compact 10 millimeter, I will have one because it just reduces the grip, the you know, the new grip without the finger grooves and with that. Just, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm actually, that is one gun that I'm pretty excited about, but I don't know that. I'm just hoping.
I just built a 300 Blackout and was wondering, what is your choice for a cheap but good optic?
Primary arms.
Yep.
Primary arms. ACSS reticle. You can get it in the 300 Blackout. It's the same as the AK. It is an awesome scope, and but I think they're now. When I say cheap, I wouldn't say that's cheap. It's about mid-range. They have a lifetime warranty on them, but they're about $269, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere right around that. But then they've got their red dots, and then their what's the other one that you just reviewed? The
Oh yeah, if you're looking for just a, you can get the three. Well, it's still $239 for the Cyclops.
Yep,
1X.
right. Yep.
But I think the 1-6 primary arms 1-6 ACSS is, to me, with that reticle, because of the reticle, that scope is one of the best on the market, even with higher price point.
Yep.
So primary arms, and you'll see a lot of primary arms on my channel because I love them. But
well, they're just solid scopes.
They really are.
They work. They're dependable. The turrets track really nicely, even for long range stuff.
Right.
So they're really impressive scopes, especially for the money.
I mean, we shoot 1,000 yards. We do a bunch of 1,000-yard shooting, and it's with primary arms. You know, different 3 to 18s and different scopes.
Yeah, the 4x14s that they've got.
But they're great.
Yep.
They're great scopes.
Absolutely.
So, but it's not now. You know, as far as a budget scope, what would you say? As far as like something. I mean, really, that is $200. You know, is really $269. But you know, some of the Burruses maybe, or
yeah, I would. Yeah, I would just save up the money for one of those. That would be the one that I would get.
Yeah, you're getting a really great scope that's really a lower price.
Yep.
So, and optics are important.
Can you do a bug out / Minuteman bag combining weapons, food, and survival gear?
Sure. That might be something good. I've done some weapons bags, you know, and I even did one called the anti-terrorist bag and caught a lot of grief. But of course, it still has, you know, about 500,000 views on it, so I don't care. But yeah, it might be something to check out, something to do. I think, you know, if you combine everything. The one thing about food is, you know, as far as a Minuteman bag, is lifeboat food. The lifeboat bars, you can get 3,000 calorie bars, you know, like this, and they last for 5 years. And you throw them in your pack, and they're actually good. They taste like graham cracker, or even better. They taste really good. I ate one time. I was doing a video, and I sat there and ate the stupid thing. I couldn't eat for 2 more days, but that is just excellent for food. But there's tons of bug out bags that we've done, and get home bags and things like that. But that might be an option to have a total package.
Yeah, like a little all inclusive 3-day bag.
Yeah, with guns,
guns, ammo, water, food.
So we'll check that. We'll check into it if I remember. Sis, don't let me forget. Okay. Sarah Max over there. I didn't even say anything about Sarah Max. She's over there asking all the asking us the questions, and really appreciate her. She's been just tremendous help for me.
I use an outdoor shooting area on our farm, but a local gun shop has an indoor shooting range that I have yet to try. I see you utilize both. Which do you prefer?
No, outdoor. Hands down, outdoor.
Absolutely.
Now, it's kind of cool to go into an indoor range. In fact, we did tons of that, shooting indoors for years. Now, I used to do a lot of IPSIG matches, and we'd go to, you know, the indoor range and IDPA and stuff like that.
Well, with all the rain that we've had lately, you know, it's been hard for us to get out to one of the outdoor ranges. So there's sometimes when an indoor range is just really your only option.
Yeah. And I think, to me, sometimes the indoor range kind of gets you into more of a kind of a rigid, like...
It's a very square, you know, one
focused.
Yep. One-dimensional range.
I like that sometimes. But for me, if I have a choice, you know, I like to shoot outside. But and sometimes there are limitations to indoor ranges that, you know, like shooting so fast or doing whatever. But I think it's something you definitely need to do. I think you need to check it out.
Such, is the Wyndham weaponry AR-15 worth the money?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They're excellent. You know, it's funny because that's the original Bushmaster, and Wyndham. It was in Wyndham, Maine. I've got two, and in fact, that was my very first AR was a Colt, a government big, huge 20-inch barrel, whatever. And it was right before the assault weapons ban, and it was coming up. So I ended up trading it for a Bushmaster little shorty, one of the M4s with the collapsible stock, and I've still got that one. And then I bought another one. And I've still got it. They're great shooting. I've got one of the AR-10s, the Wyndham weaponry. Bushmaster was the #1 AR-15 manufacturer in the country, probably in the world, beside Colt, worldwide. But awesome. Incredible. And the thing is, once Bushmaster was bought out by Freedom Group, and they moved and all that, you know, they came back. Wyndham, the guy who started it, I can't remember his first name now, but because all these people lost their jobs, so he gave them jobs. And they're back up to top par. So I really think they're good guns.
Yeah, same way with me. Bushmaster was my first AR that I had, you know, back in the mid-90s. And great rifle, still have it today. And you know, Bushmaster and Wyndham, I'd highly recommend them.
So there you go.
Highly recommend Wyndham now.
Now, one thing I want to do, because we're getting kind of close to time, we're going to answer a few more questions, but one thing that I show this all the time, so I thought this was something I need to just mention. This is the Foam Action Sports. I use this at every time I'm taking a rifle that I'm shooting. Now, I do use bipods sometimes. This thing weighs 2 ounces, and it's phenomenal, is it not?
It is.
It is phenomenal. And you can do it like this. You can do it like this. I mean, it is with the range. In fact, if one time we forgot them, and I was just like, this is just a great thing to have at the range. One other thing that I do want to mention, beside the Lula loaders, those are awesome, is if you're going to the range, get one of these little military cleaning kits so you can take the rods in case you have a squib or you get a case stuck. You can put these together, you can pop it out. It'll save your day at the range. Don't ask me how I know. That's why I got it. But that's something great. I just wanted to mention that.
Hey Such, have you tried the new Mossberg MC1 Se?
No,
Not yet.
no, I hadn't. Nobody loves me at Mossberg. I'm just kidding. No, I just hadn't had an opportunity. So, you know, I want to. I'm looking forward to it. But hopefully one day.
Yeah, a lot of buzz about that one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys that have done reviews on them. So I think just from what I've seen, they seem to be really solid. But I'll stick with the G43X right now. Since I can't get one.
Such, which do you prefer, a pump 410 shotgun or an AR-10? Which AR-410 would you recommend to me?
Oh, an AR-410 or a pump 410. It's what am I going to use it for, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted a little pump, I mean, the thing about a little pump AR, I mean, a pump 410 is it's solid. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's reliable, you know.
Yeah.
You know, as far as some of the semi-automatic 410s, which I've got a couple I'm doing some testing with, and we haven't even taken to the range, we just got them lined up. You know, that could be a problem with reliability.
Yeah, with lighter loads especially, some of your birdshot loads.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
I wish I could help you more.
Ultimate in reliability, I agree. I'd go with the pump. And, you know, if you want something that's just a fun range toy that you could play around with, maybe one of the semi-autos.
You know, it's funny, something that Mike from Guns and Gear mentioned on this video, the home defense video, is even though the shotgun's very reliable, in the heat of the moment,
People
in
tend
like
to short stroke it.
it's kind of, yeah, and you're kind of, so, you know, that's, training is important.
Absolutely.
Opinion on the new Mossberg subcompact 9mm.
Is that the MC?
Yep.
Yeah. We don't know.
Still waiting.
We don't know. We hadn't had one. I hadn't even touched one.
What do you think of the new Caltech Case 7?
I don't know. I hadn't really had any experience with them.
Yeah.
It's funny. I haven't done a lot with Caltech in the past few years. Even though I know Chad Enos, he's a good friend of mine, but we just never have done anything.
Yeah.
And,
I don't have any experience with it either.
And they're just harder to get is the big thing. I mean, I'll go, if I want something, I'll get it. Just like the little Sub 2000. I just went and bought it, you know, and paid a lot for it, though. I paid way too much for it, actually, but I got it.
What's up with Colt not F-marking their front sights bases nowadays? Any info on their new markings?
I don't know, but Palmetto State Armory F marks their front sight post. Colt's having some issues, you know. Colt's having some problems as far as some of their financial problems and stuff. So I don't know what's the deal. I do have a Colt 1911 M45A1 from Gun Pro Deals. In fact, we talked about it on Facebook at the Facebook Live event, Tuesday at 2 o'clock during the day, Eastern Standard Time. But and that is a beautiful. We shot. Oh man, that thing shot beautifully. In fact, Sarah Mack loved it too. But you know, I don't know.
Best laser for TAC 14 in home defense.
You got anything?
I got nothing.
I got nothing on that. I'm sorry. Hadn't done that yet.
Opinion on declaring national emergency on guns.
On guns? That would be a national emergency. I think it's just a bunch of people blowing smoke. And Nancy Pelosi, they'll do anything to get, you know, their way. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, that's one thing about, you know, declaring a national emergency about a border wall and declaring national emergency against gun ownership is that's our Second Amendment right. They'd have to suspend the Constitution to do that. And I don't think that'd go over well. I know a lot of people that would not. They just wouldn't put up with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying no. I wouldn't put up with it. No, I wouldn't put up with it.
Just sold my Springfield XDM in 45 because it was just a bit too big for my hand and giving me slide bite. I can't decide if I should go with the XD Mod 2, SIG P320, SMW M&P, or just get a quality 1911.
The Smith & Wesson in the 45. That's one of the soft. Well, I know the older ones. That was one of the softest shooting 45s. Remember, because I remember we were doing some testing with those. If you're looking for 45, but the SIG P320 would be 9mm. That's an excellent gun. And I'm surprised about you must have some large hands if you're having slide bite from the XDM or the but
Yeah, they eat me up.
do they?
Mhm.
Okay, well,
I
you're
high
Robbie
grip 'em.
size.
Yeah.
You're not Hobbit size like me. So yeah, I mean that's just this is what I would definitely suggest. Go to a good gun shop that's well supplied, sit down or go to a gun show and get in your hand different firearms. Rack that slide and see what it's doing.
Yeah, and even better if you've got an indoor range around you where you can go and actually test fire some different guns, go and shoot some different stuff and see what actually fits you the best.
Yeah, that is the ultimate. But a lot of times people may not have that ability.
Yep.
But I would definitely, that's the number one. But number two, though, honestly, most, just getting it in your hand, feeling it, seeing where the slide's riding,
Yep.
is a good surrogate. So
Best shotgun for home defense, 20 gauge or 12 gauge pump?
I personally like 12 gauge.
Yeah, the recoil impulse is so close with both of them that I'd rather have a little extra payload with the 12 gauge than the 20.
Yeah. But you're doing fine with the 20 gauge.
Yep, both will work.
Yeah.
Win 350 Legend, thoughts?
I got nothing.
Win 350 Winchester 350 Legend.
I believe so.
I think that's a new caliber that's coming. I don't know. I don't want to act too ignorant, so I'm just.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
There are so many calibers coming out, and some of them, are gaining some traction. Some of them are, anticipating. So, I don't know.
Yep.
Are you ever going to review the Alexander Arms 50 caliber Beowulf?
That's what I
We've
know.
done the Beowulf, haven't we?
Well, we did. It was more of a fun range,
Okay.
talked about,
Yeah.
whatever. But we did. Was it the Alexander Arms?
Yes.
Yeah, because you had some ammo from
Yep.
them. Yeah, we did that. I mean, been there, done that. I'm just kidding. We did do it. We shot it. It was fun. It's just a great round. I mean,
Yeah.
for that kind of big bore round. So
And the thing I like about it too, it's a straight wall case, like a pistol case, so it feeds really well. It's very reliable in the AR platform, where some of the 375 SOCOMs and the 458 SOCOMs, you can have some reliability issues with some different chamber cuts and stuff with those, where the 50 Beowulf is just a straight wall cartridge and feeds and runs really well.
that's why I have him here.
Okay, this is the last question and then we are out of time. SOOC, what's the best first handgun for a left-hander?
Ah,
Well, that would be Robbie.
that would be
Robbie's
me. I'm a lefty. The Gen 5 Glocks are great. The CZs are great. The Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0s. So I would say any of those are great guns, and they're all ambidextrous. So left ambidextrous slide release, ambidextrous mag release. All of them are going to be right-hand ejection, but that's just something that we have to deal with, which for me is not a big deal because being left eye dominant, you don't see the brass coming out of the ejection port. Where if I'm shooting right-handed, I always see the brass coming out of the ejection port. So that's really a non-issue. But those would be my recommendations for a lefty.
Yeah, so what you're really looking for is ambi slide release would be great. The HK VP9.
Yep, the VP9's another one. Yep.
Because I was just looking at that. So yeah, I mean the best thing is look for those features and that, and then fit it in your hand.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we've run out of time, and you know it's funny. We were here about 10 minutes before talking about it. We're just kind of waiting. And it was like Robbie said, yeah, it seems like this takes forever. And then when this next hour is going to fly by, and it does. I mean, I could sit here and do this all night, you know, and answer questions. I love it.
If anybody didn't get their question answered, should just comment below so
Yeah.
that you can reply to them.
Yeah, if you want your question answered, just put it down in the comments, because this feed, I can't reply to the feed. And so there are places for comments. And I will do that for a day or two. After a while, I just can't keep up with it. But you know, if you want to, we're gonna make this. We're gonna post it on YouTube. So anyway, do that, and then I'll try to get back to your questions. Also, we do Facebook Live every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and that is a great way. We have a lot of fun then.
Yep.
And and two, well, I'm not going to say we don't have just as many questions, because we do. I mean, we have a lot of questions. But the YouTube definitely will have a lot of stuff. One thing I appreciate Robbie coming out. It was just great to have him.
It's always a great time.
We really have a lot of fun, and we have a lot. We go to the range, have fun. Of course, Sarah Mack over at the computer answering questions. That's a big, huge plus for us too. And just you guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for all the support, and we really do appreciate it. The reason why we started this in the first place was because, I started making a couple of videos and people had all these questions, and it really allowed for people that were Second Amendment friendly or gun owners to go, you know what, I'm not alone. And it kind of brought everybody together. And guys, your comments are important down in they're just important because people do read them. And it's really important to have that sense of community, because we're not just this little minority. We are a solid group, and believing in the Second Amendment and the traditional values that our country was based on. And so it's just a great way to bring it together. So I really appreciate you guys participating. So hopefully, if you have any questions again, and if not, I'll just keep talking for 2 hours. Let's just talk. It's funny because, and I'm gonna go here, but it's funny because a lot of times I'm standing in front of the camera and I've got some I got this specific subject that I'm trying to work on, so I'm kind of focused. And I think one thing about the live thing is it makes us just kind of be who we really are. We're just kind of, not that I'm any different, but we're just hanging out and talking and feeling, having just some more fun.
Yep.
So thanks for making that, and thanks for stopping by.
That's what I enjoy so much about it. It allows us to just kind of get together and talk about stuff that we love, and get to bring you guys in, and you guys get to talk with us and answer questions, and it's just a really good time.
Yeah, so. It's fun, and we bring stuff to talk about, but usually we don't get too far into it. All right, so anyway, thanks again.